All right, so I promised I'd do this video that we'd have a little conversation over whether you should pick up a Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7. If you're coming from an earlier model of Galaxy Z Flip and you've already enjoyed your experience, let's say you're coming from a 4 or a 5, to me that's a no-brainer. Go ahead and pick up the Galaxy Z Flip 7. You're going to enjoy many of the enhancements that Samsung has made this year. It is genuinely, I've spent a couple hours with the device. It is a genuinely nice device to use and it feels good in the hand. And there are some notable advancements that Samsung made on the Z Flip 7 this year. But the more comprehensive conversation surrounds whether you should be picking up a Galaxy Z Flip 7 or an offering from Motorola. Now, I want to preface this because a bunch of people in the comment section, I got this last video saying, why would I pick up one of these? They're more fragile than something like an S25. We're talking about people who want a clamshell foldable. If you're in the market for a foldable, that's the conversation that we're having. If you're just happy with your slab phone, I don't know why you'd want to go ahead and convert to something like a clamshell design. So let's talk about the comparisons with Motorola. Now, Motorola does have some natural advantages, right? Because they have 3 products as opposed to Samsung's 2 when it comes to clamshell foldables. I'm being generous by counting the Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE as one of Samsung's 2 foldables, but I shouldn't even, it doesn't factor into this conversation. Let's just put it that way. So let's take the bottom rung out of the equation. So we're not really comparing the Z Flip 7 to the Motorola Razr 2025. We're comparing it to the Motorola Razr Plus, and the Motorola Razr Ultra. And I wrote about this in Android Police because it's almost frustrating because everything breaks out exactly how it should. There's really no easy value play that you could point to, with the exception of the Plus on a deal, that would make your decision that much easier. Like, everything falls out because you got the Motorola Razr Plus at $1,000, you got the Z Flip 7 at $1,100, and then you have the Motorola Razr Ultra at $1,300, and everybody kind of stays in their lane. If you want the best clamshell device that's going to have the most power and the highest spec, well, then that's the Motorola Razr Ultra. But at the same time, you're also paying the most amount of money for that device. So it's the best, but you're paying the most. There's really no value there that you could pick up in comparison to something like the Z Flip 7. $1,300, you're getting that, right? Snapdragon 8 Elite, 16 gigs RAM, larger battery, sleeker design for some people. You might prefer the design on the Motorola Razr Ultra. I happen to like it. It's a lot. You get the different finishes, which is quite nice. I went with Pink Cabaret on mine, but you get the full 4-inch display on the the cover screen. Nice experience, and there are some advantages there, like you don't need good lock, right? You just go ahead, right ahead on there and add whatever apps. In a few seconds, you're running Instagram and X and all the rest of it on your external display on the Motorola Razr Ultra. $1,300 though, right? And the counter argument that I make, and it's one that I made last year, it's one I make about Pixel devices, it's one I made about the Motorola Razr Plus last year. Do you need all of that power in a clamshell foldable? Because I think, now, Motorola still has advantages with design, sleek design. The Z Flip 7, if you've held it, it's less boxy than last year. Okay, it's not a complete disaster. It's a sleeker design, and the larger coverage screen, the 4.1-inch display on the outer part of the display, kind of covers up the design, kind of the boxy design of it. It's slightly more rounded. The thinner bezels help, but it is kind of a boxy design. But I like it. It's nice to hold in the hand. But if you're looking for just the sleeker design, the Motorola still gets the nod there. But do you really need all that horsepower with what you're going to use a clamshell for? Because the aspect ratio isn't really there for gaming. I hate gaming on these things. It's too wide, it's wonky, and I hate my thumbs dragging across those plastic layers, the displays. So that's out for a lot of people. I mean, listen, if it's not out for you, that's fine, because you got Motorola Smart Connect, great software. If you're using the power there, that's something to think about. But I'm not editing photo and videos on these things. With the external display, they're kind of, no, they're not disconnect devices, but they're meant to be used more sparingly, perhaps, than a regular smartphone or even something like a Galaxy Z Fold 7. So do you really need that slightly better performance under the hood and paying all that money? Do you need 16 gigs of RAM? Do you need a Snapdragon 8 Elite? To me, I think at the end of the day, the answer is no. So if you still want the best clamshell, if you want a lot of power in your clamshell, but you want to save $200, you could pick up the Z Flip 7 and be pretty happy with your decision. Now, the Motorola Razr Plus, Snapdragon 8S Gen 3, that you could go down the argument again. Well, how much power do you need? Do you need an Exynos 2500? Well, you could go down to that one. And the thing about the Motorola Razr Plus is that I think Motorola recognizes that they didn't do a heck of a lot to that device. So there was that Amazon sale, what was it, a couple weeks ago? $700? You get the enhanced hinge, you get the IP48 rating on it, upgraded durability. I do think that that's a really nice design. You get the larger outer display, unlike you do on the Motorola Razr 2025. So I think there's a lot of things to talk about. I think it's a more interesting, it's not just a straight up and down like, oh, the Motorola Razr Ultra should be your choice and the Z Flip 7 should be your choice. So let's talk about the advantages of each, because it's not cut and dry. The decision this year between these devices is going to be made in the margins. And Samsung has some pretty impressive margins. If you're somebody who needs, I think, better camera performance, I'm not talking about just the sensor. I'm talking about the computational stuff on the other end. You might want to go Samsung if that's something that you're looking at. If battery life is the most important thing on a clamshell for you, the Motorola Razr Ultra is going to have the advantage. If getting the best value is your concern, is your buying decision, then the Motorola Razr Plus is the one that you're going to want to look at. So each one is going to have something that will sway you one way or another. Motorola, for $1,300, Motorola really has to sort the software thing, because it's a big advantage for Samsung. 7 years of software support on the Z Flip 7. Timely software support as well. You know, the Z Flip 7 is going to ship with One UI 8. Not a huge enhancement over One UI 7. The company left a lot of the stuff the same, but you are getting Android 16 out of the box. Your Motorola Razr Ultra probably will get Android 16. It's slated for Android 16. My daughter is just about 18 months old. She may very well be going off to college by the time that Motorola ships Android 16. So if you're somebody who needs the latest and greatest, if you're somebody who waits for these Android releases and looks at new features and you're excited about that stuff, you're not going to pick up a Motorola. And that could be enough people to sway a decision, right? And the same thing with AI. I don't care about AI. I mean, Now Brief is starting to show signs of life. The Now Bar is interesting. It's actually getting some usefulness out of it. You got a few apps that are using it. Third-party developers are going to be starting to integrate Now Bar and Now Brief into their stuff. So that's something that you can look forward to. But Galaxy AI, not great, but it's still ahead of Moto AI. So is AI something that, and that's why when you're this close, when you see a Z Flip 7 at $1,100 and a Motorola Razr Ultra at $1,300, it's not the decision we had last year, which to me was a pretty simple one, that you should pick up the Motorola Razr Plus. This year it's more complicated, which in a way is a credit to Samsung, coming up with a sleeker and stylish design, understanding slightly better why people buy clamshell foldables. And yes, there are still weaknesses to the device. It is a smaller battery. Even though it's a bigger battery, as far as Samsung's concerned, it's a smaller battery compared to the Razr Ultra. But then again, more software support. Other things like that. So yeah, less RAM, but you're getting One UI. So there are things there that could sway you one way or the other. It's just like, well, I don't want to, it's not the boxy design that's disqualifying Samsung. There's a few things that make the conversation more complicated. Trade-in offers might also complicate things a little bit. Why does Samsung, we talked about this with the Galaxy S25 Ultra, when Samsung knows it doesn't exactly have something that enticing for you, those trade-in offers get pretty good. This year, they know they're giving you something. So the trade-in offer on the Z Flip 6 is $600 on the new one. So that should tell you everything you need to know about the enhancements with the Z Flip 7. If you're already in the Samsung camp, is there anything disqualifying about the Z Flip 7? Absolutely not. It's the best foldable that the company's released clamshell-wise, and you'll enjoy it. If you already like One UI, if you want to stick with Samsung, the Z Flip 7 is doing nothing offensive to get you to jump ship. If you're already a Razr user and you're frustrated with the software and you're kind of done with Moto, for whatever reason, this might be a year that you consider taking a look at a Z Flip 7. So I think it does enough to maybe entice people who had held off before because they like the design of the Motorola Razr devices. But, they kind of held their nose on the software because they wanted a sleek and stylish clamshell, which is a reason why we buy these things. Because they're nice looking, because they're conversation starters when you pull them out of your pocket, because they're fun to use, because you don't have to use good lock on the external display, because you could sit there and get a full-fledged smartphone experience when it's open, but then get the compact form factor that's pocket-friendly when it's closed. So there are those things there. So should you buy a Z Flip 7? That really depends on what you need. If you need that software support, Samsung's done enough to get it close enough to where the style and design doesn't disqualify despite the advantages that Samsung has. Not something I could have said in years past. Should you buy a Motorola Razr Ultra on a sale? Those things, if you need the extra horsepower for whatever reason, if you're going to keep it for 4 and 5 years and you want the future proofing of the 16 gigs of RAM and the Snapdragon 8 Elite, but then if you're keeping it that long, you're going to be out of software support. So it's a bit of a more difficult conversation this year for sure. Link in the description does help the channel if you do want to pick up a Z Flip 7. I think overall, you're not going wrong in either direction, by the way. This is fantastic. This will probably still be the one that hangs in my pocket, but I am looking forward to having the Z Flip 7 in my pocket when it arrives on the 25th of July. So it's more of a conversation. It's closer than it's ever been. It comes down to what you prioritize in your smartphone. If it's going to be software, the Z Flip 7 is close enough where the software could sway you. If it's raw performance, if it's value in the case of the Motorola Razr Plus, if you could pick one up for like $700, if you get one of these because you just want the most powerful clamshell foldable out there, or you like the stylish design of the Razr, Motorola still has those advantages as well. So look in the mirror, ask yourself why you're buying a clamshell. But for the meantime, I am at least happy, pleased, that Samsung understands why people buy clamshells, which I think wasn't the case in the past, where they put these flagship processors in there and raise the price, but still give us these boxy designs. I think Samsung's at least recognizing that, hey, style and design, these are phones that are picked up by casuals. They're ones I see out in the wild the most. I really don't see those big book-style foldables out there. I see these clamshells out there because people look at them, they're sleek, they look good on a store shelf. You pick it up, it's fun to use in your pocket. There's the nostalgia factor. There's a lot of reasons why people pick up clamshells, and design is certainly one of them. Samsung finally, took them long enough, has figured that out with the Galaxy Z Flip 7. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have a delicious day.